Thanks to Massdrop, they've got a lot of cool gear, and they utilize the power of group buys to save you money. You can check them out at massdrop.com or click on the link in the description. Thanks to Corsair, they've got a lot of new stuff going on. Be sure to check out all of our booth coverage by clicking on the link in the description. Thanks to you guys, our Patreon members and our tech support members. We are trying to expand and hire new people, and we want to keep the integrity of our content. Thanks for giving. You guys are awesome. AORUS laptops. This is the X7. We've seen this before, but not in this iteration. Now, before we saw it with SLI, and it was like one of the most compact and slim laptops with SLI. Now they've gone full desktop 980, and to prove the power, we've got this B-roll of Kane on the screen using the Oculus Rift playing a racing game, and all that is being powered by this laptop. So no longer are you going to be confined to just a desktop computer. You can use a laptop. As you see, the thing is extremely sleek. I mean, if you can imagine it's in there, it's probably in there. It's just the top of the line as far as laptops go in general. But it's rare to have something that's this powerful, that's also this slim and this sleek. So that's, what the hell is Kane doing? So Kane is apparently wearing the X7. This is the X7 DT, by the way. There's a few different models of the X7. The one with the full-size 980 is the X7 DT. So anyway, as you can see here, this is a prototype. We've got a little backpack on here. And you can actually wear the laptop. You got your controller here. This is gyroscopic. He's using this to move around, aim, and shoot. And then he has, of course, the Oculus on. So I think there's a lot of different applications for this. Maybe if you wanted to use some other software where you could run around, this would work. You'd have the backpack on. You wouldn't have to be tethered to anything. You could go anywhere with it. So now that we've got this kind of power in such a compact space, there's a lot of different possibilities. One other thing I want to mention here is the heat's going to come out of this on the back, but I would just flip the laptop around the other way. It looks sexier this way, but if you flip it around the other way, the heat will be not really directed. How's your back, Kane? Is it nice and toasty?
No, it's not. I'm on Hoth.
So Kane's on Hoth right now. Look at all these awards on the X7 DT and the X5. Lots and lots and lots of freaking awards on there. So let's go look at laptops. We'll give it an award too. It's awesome. It's cool. Oh, look, it's got a CES Innovation Award. I wonder how much that cost. I'm going to take a quick look at some stuff that we've seen at Computex, but they've been upgraded since then. This is the the X5S, and it's got your i7s and everything. It'll go up to a 980M graphics card. Now, one of the things interesting about this, they've integrated their entire audio solution in here, and I'm not opposed to this. Usually I'm like, audio software, whatever. This one's kind of cool because they have lots of different settings, and they're mostly just changing the frequency. So if you want a game to have, a little bit louder footsteps or something, you can bring up the mid-range. If you want some beefier explosions, depending on your setup, you can bring up the bass, and you can have it set to launch with the application. So that's kind of cool. Other than that, you've got M.2 for SSDs, and that's going to reach 2,000 megabytes a second. Of course, you've got your DDR4. We've got a couple of slots for that inside. And also, you've got USB 3.1 Type-C on this, and individually backlit keys. Yeah, that's sexy. So, one of the cool things about I've broken it. I should stop making things break, but
Cortana's wants you to ask her something.
I don't care about Cortana. Cortana, I'm busy. God, she's always coming over at the wrong times. You'll be able to program this, and you'll be able to have it respond to you, different profiles and that sort of thing. So a lot of options there with that. I mean, you guys have seen it in other things, just similar. So let's move on down here. We've also got some larger options. So that's the X7 Pro, 17-inch, and it also has the streaming thing. Where's that? There it is. So this is going to be on the inside. This is an M.2 little streamer thing. It's called the Stream Engine, and it's made by AverMedia. It's going to work with, guaranteed for XSplit, but it should work with Open Broadcaster as well. It's going to remove all the stress from your CPU and just allow you to stream. Now, let's say you're someone who does not stream. You can also get this and just replace that, or use the M.2 slot for, just a standard SSD. One other thing that's interesting about this is the X7 DT does not out of the box come with one of these, but it does have the M.2 slot. And they said if you wanted something custom, you can talk to them, and they can surely figure out how to get one of those in there if you wanted one. So that's what I like about the high-end stuff. If you really want something, you can usually get it. So let's also see what's down here on this table. All right, here's their gaming keyboard. Let's get the backpack. So actually, this backpack we've been using here at the event the entire time. It's just working out really nice. This B7R B3. They just updated it to orange LEDs. Still got the red switches on the inside there. So, yep. Also a non-American layout. And then that's pretty much it. I don't know, what are you looking at here, Paul?
They told us there were some laptops over on the side. I don't see them.
Alright guys, this is the latest in stealth technology. You need to check this out. Right guy here, it's got a laptop, but when you close it up, it's gone.
All right, so some of their members actually had this as a suggestion, as a mod. So you can get this with most of their different laptops out there. And they did it's a water transfer. And so that basically colors everything, including the grill. Look at the mesh right there. Can you see that? Look at that mesh right there. Everything has this camouflage pattern. And this is actually a real official camouflage pattern that is used by the military. I'm not a big camo guy, but I actually like this a little bit. And you can go to the coffee shop and no one will know what you're doing. Looks like you're just sitting there staring at the air.
Alright, so we got a really cool thing. Let me check this out. It comes in blue and green. It's a durable SSD external drive, USB 3. It's gonna be neat. And it's waterproof, so you can drop it on water and just leave it there. As long as the door's closed, you shouldn't have a problem. I don't recommend it, but if you drop it when you're getting out of your car or running around with your drive in your hand and you trip in the rain, why you're running around with this in your hand in the rain, I have no idea. But, it's durable for the gamer on the go. I don't know. Anyway, it's cool stuff. It's gonna be really awesome. It's gonna come out in USB 3. It's gonna be fast as hell. Got a couple of small ones here too. These are really nifty. They're really small. These ones here actually are really neat because they have USB 3 Type-C connectors. All right, this is kind of a neat little demonstration here. It's got a whole series of, this is an entire flash array. They call it the ADATA flash array, an AFA. It's technically a network attached storage, so it's a NAS, but it's all flash. This thing can do 1,000,000 4-kilobyte random IOPS. That's like ridiculous, and this is greater than. It's annoying, amazing. The capacity on this thing is up to 11 terabytes. It's not very much storage, but it's fast, and it's not exactly designed for long-term storage. This would be like a read cache for big enterprise-grade systems. You have your long-term storage. This would be on the front end as just a read cache, so people have faster access to large quantities of high-capacity data, and it's just it's exciting. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about here. This is fantastic. I've lost my brain. This array is filled with these ADATA SSD SR1010 or the 1010s. These things are really awesome enterprise-grade drives. Only 240 gigabytes, but what's nice about these is they have the power loss protection built into them, which is great because if the system dies, they won't kill the drives or the write and whatnot, what's happening as they're doing their thing. Then you can come back after a little bit of a power loss and you won't lose any data, hopefully.
Look at all this server-grade memory, Kane. You know what's funny?
Server-grade memory.
This is all hideous and green and doesn't look very nice. This memory is way better than all the memory we use in our gaming systems.
Look at this, ECCU right there. I'm gonna put that in mine. The reason these things are ugly and nobody really cares about, how pretty these things can be, is because it's gonna be sitting in a blade structure or a 1 or 2U server. It's gonna be in a rack. No one's gonna care. You're never gonna look at the thing. It's not gonna be like something you show off to your friends. Hey man, you wanna come over and look at my rack server? Though if that ever actually does happen, film it and let me know, because that's gonna be awesome.
I'll come check out your rack.
Check this out. It's the same SR1010 that was in that giant machine, but this one's got a 480 gigs. It's like, woo, this one's pretty. So you double the capacity on that would be pretty awesome. A bunch of other really cool things. Most of this stuff you'll never see in anything other than like an embedded system right here. This actually plugs directly into a SATA slot. This one down here is kind of neat. It's not very big. These things are low capacity, maybe 8 gigs, but this one here plugs into a USB 2 connector right on the motherboard. Again, it's going to not be in anything other than like a low-profile embedded system, something you're not going to see out in the wild too often. Maybe in the printers. It's scary, but that's where you'll find them. Memory. We all have it. We all need more of it. And sometimes it breaks. This one, however, just runs really damn fast. This stuff is running at 38, 66, 67, 65. It's a little bit of fluctuation. But it's got some timings here, 18, 22, 22, 43. But this is running. This is a live system. This is a live feed there. It just switched on us. It's only running on the CPU is downclocked to 800 megs, but that's okay, because the memory is still ridiculously fast. This is the XPG Z1 DDR4 memory that ADATA is creating. This stuff is pretty neat. It comes in a couple of really awesome colors, and we go see a display here in a second that's got all of that. I just want to point that out. That's crazy. It comes in 3400, but it will run at 3866 without much of a problem. Look at that. It comes in white and black and a bunch of other cool stuff, but this is it. The one DDR4 UDIMMs. They're pretty awesome. These ones only come in 4 to 8 gig sticks. At least that's what they say on here. That might maybe get up to 16. But I guarantee you that these are the XPG Dazzles. They get a really cool LED. They come in red and gold, and they've got red LEDs and gold LEDs respectively. But they come in 4, 8, 16 DDR4. It's pretty fancy. It's one of the new SSDs they got. This is the XPG. It's nothing really fancy about it other than the fact that it can do like 75,000, 32,000 IOPS, read and write respectively, 560, 460 megabytes. What's really neat about this is that it's using enterprise-grade MLC NAND flash, synchronous, which is actually pretty awesome. It's got a J-Micron solution controller in there, which is pretty cool, but it's nothing too crazy. It comes in 120 up to 480 gigs. But what I'm really interested in, because you know me and my SSDs for enterprise server grade, this is the enterprise grade 2 terabyte drive they got here on display. This is really nice. It's thick. It's got a really awesome heatsink on the back. What appears to be a SAS connector on the bottom is just that. It's a SAS connector, but it's not a SAS drive. This is a PCI Express drive. It connects to a U.2 connector in the back of your motherboard, which is really awesome. It does 2,900 megabytes a second on a read and 1,300 megabytes a second on a write, which is pretty awesome for a PCI Express drive that's massively 2 terabytes and huge. It's really awesome, and it's kind of exciting. It's a little bit over provisioned, not too much. This one does not have the power loss protection. All right, so here's this SSD PCI Express enterprise drive in action. This is actually slotted into a homegrown, proprietary, not for sale PCI Express riser card to slot this drive in here for testing purposes. I just thought it was so cool. I gotta show this off because this is cool. So if anybody out there wants to build one of these for me, you can doodly do that and you just email me and let me know what's going on.
It's also got hydraulic switches on it.
Look at that. These things, I want to flip switches, but I'm afraid it's gonna break something. Like, what are you doing? That's all good. It's kind of neat.
All right, and that's the end of our coverage from the ADATA suite here at the beautiful place here on the side of the road. So long. I don't know what just happened there, but now there's some laptops on the